Residents of Banjul, the capital of the Gambia, are reacting to news of President Adama Barrow's re-election for a second term as president. The incumbent candidate won more than 53% of the vote, according to results released by the Electoral Commission on Sunday. Gambians now expect Adama Barrow to bring something better to the Gambia, including the creation of more jobs for the young.
I can't say much about that because he wasn't the one I voted for anyway. But as far as I'm concerned, so long that there is peace, there is stability, we'll give him another 5 years and see what he comes up with.
Because many youths are sitting, there are lack of jobs, So when they create more jobs for them, maybe things would be better before they go this back way and so forth.
President Barrow easily beat out his main rival, Usanu Dabo of the United Democratic Party, who received about 28% of the vote.
We are investigating this matter with our partners to determine our future course of action. At this point in time, we reject the results announced thus far by the IEC. We reserve the right to embark on any course of action the situation requires. To this end, all actions are on table. In the meantime, we urge all Gambians to remain calm and peaceful while we continue our investigations of these concerns.
This was the country's first presidential election in decades that did not include Yahya Jammeh, who now lives in exile in Equatorial Guinea after losing the 2016 election and refusing to accept defeat.
Data from the WHO has revealed that the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted malaria services, leading to an increase in cases and deaths. An estimated 14 million more cases and 69,000 more deaths were recorded in 2020.
In this year's World Malaria Report, we recognize that neither in terms of reduction of deaths or reduction of cases are we making any further progress. We have stalled. I think we are on the verge of a potential malaria crisis, where not only are we getting closer to elimination and eradication globally, but the problem becoming worse in a substantial number of parts of Africa. This calls for a renewed sense of purpose, of action, of addressing what is far from being an unfinished agenda. It is still a massive global health problem that needs to be tackled with decisiveness and having countries, the endemic countries themselves, leading the charge.
As part of interventions to reduce the infection rate, the WHO earlier this year recommended a first-generation malaria vaccine to be deployed broadly to children living in areas of moderate to high transmission.
The significance of these two announcements, first the WHO recommendation, secondly the Gavi endorsement, is, I believe, truly historical. We need new tools. With the tools we have right now, we can save lives, and we have saved lives. But we cannot imagine that we will go on making the type of progress that is needed. We need also technological tools. We need new vaccines. We need new medicines. And the fact that for the first time a malaria vaccine can join the other tools that we have to more effectively fight malaria, to reduce what we estimate an extra 40,000 to 80,000 deaths of African children every year, is a scientific and public health breakthrough.
Sub-Saharan Africa continues to carry the heaviest malaria burden, accounting for about 95% of all malaria cases and 96% of all deaths in 2020.
Abdulrazak Gurnah, a former refugee from Zanzibar, has received his Nobel Prize for Literature in London.
Ambassador to the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
The writer is the first author of African origin to receive the distinction since 2003. Gurnah on Monday received this prize, the most prestigious in literature, for his stories on immigration and colonization during a ceremony in the United Kingdom, where the novelist, born in Zanzibar, lives in exile for over half a century. The Nobel in Science and Literature are awarded for the second consecutive year without the usual pomp in the countries for the laureates. The 72-year-old also receives a prize of €1 million.
I keep missing your gestures.
Give us one more politicians.
Stability that we're experiencing on the African continent, but also
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa and Senegalese President Macky Sall have expressed their displeasure towards rich countries over travel bans imposed on South Africa since the country announced the discovery of a new coronavirus variant, Omicron. We must continue to work together in solidarity. This pandemic, which is affecting all our countries, must bring us together on the side of solidarity in our response instead of adding a new divide between rich and poor countries.
Entre pays riches et pays pauvres.
This was during the opening of the 7th edition of the Dakar International Forum on Peace and Security in Africa on Monday. Ramaphosa tasked rich countries to help find a solution to the problem.
When South African scientists discovered, as President Macky Sall was saying, Omicron, the new variant, they immediately took on the responsibility of informing the world that a new variant has come through. And what is the result? The northern countries impose a ban to punish the excellence that comes from Africa. They basically say, we will not allow you to travel around. But lo and behold, Omicron is spreading all over the world.
He accused rich countries of giving only the crumbs to poor nations in their distribution of the coronavirus vaccines. Thousands of Sudanese took to the streets on Monday in the capital of Khartoum and other cities in the latest protest against the October military coup and a subsequent deal that reinstated Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok. Footage circulated on social media supposedly showed demonstrators marching in different locations in Khartoum and its sister city Omdurman. Security forces fired tear gas to disperse protesters marching in the street near the presidential palace in Khartoum. There were no immediate report of casualties. In past rounds of demonstrations, security forces used violence, including live ammunition, against protesters, according to activists. At least 44 protesters have been killed and hundreds wounded since the coup.